Welcome to the Leverton on Everything podcast, where I, Leverton, review literally everything. That's the first rule. Second rule is that every review that I do is under 10 minutes. Today I'm going to talk about the film Whiplash. I gave it 9 out of 10, and it's a good film, but misinterpreted. This is a good film, but I think that people have taken the wrong message away from it. I think that this is similar to Fight Club and American Psycho, or even Starship Troopers. This isn't a satire, it's more of an exploration of how much people will put up with in pursuit of a goal. People see Fletcher as a hard ass, but also see his actions as necessary. But after he loses his job because the school he works for has been sued, he tells Andrew that he never had a Charlie Parker. Earlier, he tells his band that a former band member died in a traffic accident, but it turns out that he actually committed suicide, and it was his parents that sued the school. He basically admits without realizing it that his methods are rubbish. At the end of the movie, he tries to humiliate Andrew by having him perform a song that he hadn't practiced, and then after the show and film end with a great drum performance. But honestly, I don't think it happened. I think it's wish fulfillment by Andrew. I think he was severely injured after his car crash and was unable to play. There's no way that a man like Fletcher would permit somebody dripping in blood to perform. So it's not a tale of sacrifice that must be endured to be successful. It's a tale of the abuse we accept because we want to be great. It reminds me of Athlete A documentary about abuse in gymnastics that was also ignored because the program was successful. Yeah, to clarify what I meant by so basically the character of Fletcher, people interpret him as like, oh yeah, you need to be hard to be successful. You need to be hard to be successful. And my ex actually, when she watched the movie, she kind of sold it to me like that way, and I didn't get around to watching it until very recently. But it's not like that at all. It's like Fletcher is abusive, and he says he has never had a Charlie Parker, but so Charlie Parker, great jazz drummist, but how would he know if he had a Charlie Parker or not? Because he's abused so many people that they're not giving him his best, their best, right? So I think there are sacrifices you need to make to be great, like practicing. But just being yelled at, uh, because nobody's playing jazz and then gets yelled at in the middle of his drum solo. I mean, maybe when you're practicing, but yeah, it's just a bit much. And I think it's like Fight Club and Starship Troopers and American Psycho. It's one of those things that people misinterpret for sure. For sure. One thing that is hard to misinterpret is my son's masterpiece of a podcast, the Everything and More, etc. podcast, where we talk about animated series in the first season, and the format is such that we have dialogues, so it's much more interesting to listen to than me ranting like I'm doing now. Thanks and bye.